In this video, we will see the previously generated 4D volume dataset, this one here, of the bone compression using the raycasting. This raycasting is available in Drishti-3. This is a pre-alpha release of Drishti-3. So we can drag and drop this file, the BWF file that we created, bwf.h5 file of the bone dataset. So I can drag and drop this file, or I can go via load volume and so on. So I'll just drag and drop that here. So this is the data that we imported here. Then this is the logger. It will show you. So this we have, say, 256 by 256 by 3072 volume. That's the volume that we have. So these are about 11 time steps, and this is the transfer function editor. We are in the slice version right now, as you can see from the bottom text here, low res version. Let's switch to raycasting. So raycasting, this is raycasting, and then I can change. If you press F2, then you go to the high res version, and as you can see, when I go in, then progressively higher resolution volumes are rendered. Now if you want to see different time steps, so you can always of course see the different time steps here, but if you want to navigate through multiple time steps, what you can do is specify the 4D volume size. So press spacebar, and then you can specify the 4D volume size. Now in this case it is 256 by 256 by 256. Now each of your time step here is 256 cubed, so that's the 4D volume size. And then we can say set the box size, say spacebar again, box size. Say I want to see only one time step at a time, so box size is 1, and then you can see this here. So press F2, and this is the time step here, and you can see as we move back and forth, zoom, progressively finer levels are drawn, and this text here tells you this information. So this is level of detail 1, so which is full resolution. That's the volume size. That's the step size of the data. So finer lower values meaning finer step size, rendering step size. And then this is the time step. So if you have a time series data, then we will see this. So this is time step 0. Now you can use cursor keys or the Z and Shift+Z key to navigate between the time steps. So let me press space bar, and then I'll show you the hotkey here. So this is Z. So Z and Shift+Z, in the case of 4D datasets, you can move between the time steps. So let me press Z. I'm pressing Z, and you can see it's the time step that is changing. So what is really happening is this box is moving up like that. So I'm pressing Z and then Shift+Z. So that way you can quickly navigate between different time steps. Press F2, and then you can say, for example, take just a slab of that and press F2. And now again, if you press Z or Shift+Z, then that box keeps on moving. And as you can also use, say, spacebar and then time step. Say I want to go to 5th time step, so it will automatically jump to the 5th time step. Now if I don't want to progressively render from the lowest level of detail to highest, so when I, for example, change it will progressively render from that. Press F1, so it will take the best level. So spacebar again. So F1 will basically give you the best level of detail from the camera position. So now if you press Z, it will always take the best level, and you can also see the time step. I am pressing Z and Shift+Z. You can also, for example, do that, press F2, and then you can use the arrow keys, say left and right arrow keys to move in the X direction, and then up and down arrow keys to move in the Y direction. So let me just show you what's happening here. So I'm pressing up and down arrow key, so this is moving in Y direction, and then I'm moving in X direction, and then by pressing Z key I'm moving in Z direction, which is the time series in this case. So left and right arrow keys for moving in X direction along the X axis, and then up and down arrow keys to move in the Y direction. Now you can change this step size, because what you can see is it's jumping from where the box ended. So you can change that jump, say X jump 0.5. So when I move this, it's taking half step, and half step is basically half the box size along the X direction. Similarly, if I want to do for the Y direction, Y jump to say 0.25, so this is quarter the box size, so you can take finer steps. And similarly you can do it for Z. So Z jump, say instead of 1 you can do say 0.5, so it will take the jump by half the box size along the Z direction. So if I press Z now, it's going half, so you can see the gap between the first and the second time step, and so on. So Z jump 1, and so on. Now for example, you want to animate this. Let me just go back and reset the box, and then time step 0, this one here, and then just move back a bit. So I'm using up arrow key to move back a bit. Okay, now I want to do say animation. So keyframe editor, first time step, and then this 11th time step. So that's it, and so on. So when it is time series, then it will jump across these time steps. Now what you can also do is, so you can go back and you can change this, come back again here, override the frame, so while this is happening, while the animation is running, it will also change the box size here. So that way you can easily create animations of a time series. So for example, you can take that here, and this one you can say that I want to go up to time step say 5, so the keyframe, and then here time step say 10, oh no, 11 here. So your keyframe animation is very much like the Drishti version 2 in the slice based rendering. So So this is a way in which you can create the animations, and then you can also of course go and save the image sequence.